Hello, everybody. This is Eleni and Marcus, and today we want to bring to you what we're going to be doing on day 2 of our Transcendence Retreat, which is a 3-day event at the Gold Coast this September. And so we're both feeling the energy and the activation of this event. And when we thought we'd just go a little bit deep in terms of what we're doing every single day. And so for day 2, it's all about activating, where we get into that 0 point. So tell me, Marcus, what can you tell us about a little bit about day 2?
Yeah, so day two is about going into, like you said, the 0 point or the void. And it's kind of interesting because, one of the things that both of us want to create here is this beautiful sacred space for us to fully step into who we are and take it to a deeper level of who we think we are. And the day two is really about entering this space called the void. And in ancient Egyptian times, the Egyptians used to purposefully enter into this space, into the void space, because what they realized in the void is where you actually connect with and find everything that you need. You actually can connect into and find the truth of who you are and what's happening and what's playing out around you, and really connect deeply into that. The Egyptians used to use a 6 element process, and the void is always the start of that 6 element process. And, going into the void can look like you're going into the absolute nothingness. And I think the interesting thing about the void is that our modern society, that old illusionary 3D world that we're moving from, it really has constricted us to be frightened of the void, to run away from the void. There's so many movies and conversations about don't go into the dark, everything bad happens in the dark, don't go into the void, is really what they're saying. There's all sorts of connotations around that to stop us going into the void. And that the interesting part of that is everything exists in the void and nothing exists in the void. It's this sort of ironic sort of place where there's nothing and everything all at the same time. But if you give yourself the time and space and sort of sacredness to journey into that space and to just be in that space, the incredible things that come out of that, the incredible awarenesses and insights and aha moments that appear from being in that space. And I suppose as we start to journey into that, we're going to look at these sort of archetypes of self. We're going to look at how do we receive the wisdom? How do we unmask that deeper truth of who we are? And really, the only way to do that is to sort of go into the void, where you're not being drawn out by something or distracted by something and so, I think it's just really important to journey. And it's generally something we don't do on our own. It often happens by accident or because of an accident or an illness or something that we're sort of thrust into the void. Eleni, the ancient Egyptians didn't wait for that. They actually had ceremonies frequently to go into that space. In our sort of modern time, we just don't do that anymore. So then we have these thrusted moments into the void. But even when we have those moments, we don't necessarily fully go into it because we get into that state of, I just want to get out of it as fast as I
Mm,
can. So
mm,
then that's where the idea of pills come from and the ideas of the quick fix come from. And it's like we don't actually honor the process of, okay, I'm not well, so I'm just going to be with it. Do you know what I mean? We try to run away from these things. Whereas in our beautiful retreat, it's about really journeying there on purpose in a beautiful, safe environment where you can actually explore the depth of you and the universe and all of the things that exist there in the void. And I think it is just this beautiful, sacred, unconditional, loving sort of journey that you go on to really connect with the truth. And that's the beautiful part of it. So I'm looking forward to that.
I've actually got just full body chills as you're speaking.
Mm,
It's almost
yeah.
like you're transmitting the energy already. And because we've been talking about it, it is already being created. And so if there's something inside you that's saying, yes, this is for me, we've made this really affordable.
And easy and
Really
simple.
affordable. Just
Yeah.
come along. This is your opportunity to actually be invited into the void where you
Yeah.
can actually do the exercises and everything that we have planned in a safe way, but in a very powerful way as well.
Yeah. And it's just about living that essence of who you are. So if you're feeling, if you're feeling the call and inspired by what we've just spoken about, please click the link below or above, and you can find out more. Take advantage of, the early bird that's happening right now, and book your place. And we can't wait to see you. It's going to be an
Yeah.
amazing, beautiful journey, and we're going to be in person, Eleni. Oh my God,
Yes,
in
yes,
person.
finally.
How weird and strange and beautiful that will be. So, yay. Well, thanks,
Thank
Eleni. Looking
thank
forward to
you.
it.
Thanks,
See you
Marcus.
soon. Bye.
Bye.